Hello my friends, HM here. In this video I'm going to make petit fours, which is the same as you can see here on the picture. Maybe this camera is much better, but it's also the same that I have right here. I just make a plate full of them, and I have another plate full of them here. And right now I'm going to take the final plate out of the oven and set it here for cooling. I think they're done. What is great about these petit fours is that I have made my own variant of them, and I'm using amarena cherries at the toppings. I haven't seen that combination before, and it's if I have to say it myself, it's a brilliant combination because you get the sourness of these amarena cherries together with the sweetness of the marzipan that you baked. But the more traditional way of making them is to use hazelnut that I have also made here, or walnuts. You can also use almonds. You can skinned almonds you can put on top, but I don't think that's that original because the marzipan is made of almonds and sugar and some glucose syrup. I think the more contrast you have between different kinds of flavors in a dish or in a dessert or like this confiture, the better it tastes, the more delicious it can be. If it all tastes of the same, it's not as interesting and inspiring for your brain. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these things. It's super easy. And right now, because I had it right out of the oven, I'm done with it. My whole apartment here smells lovely of baked almond, which is just a super nice smell. So you get that benefit as well. But let's get to it. Let me show what the ingredients are. I'm over here. I have made 3 eggs that I separated egg yolk from egg white. We are going to use the egg white. Egg yolk I'm going to use for making some ice cream, because I also do a fantastic Italian style ice cream. It can be made in many ways, ice cream, but I found out a great way to do it. But that's for another video. So subscribe to my channel if you want to see some of my creations here. I made myself to enrich my own life and my guests' life. And you can also enrich your own life by copying me. Okay, anyway, so all we need here is the egg white, and then we need a lot of marzipan. And we need about 750 grams. I have 250 grams in each of those. Yeah, I'm going to take this marzipan, chop it up. Maybe I should do it right now so I can show you. And then basically, in order to facilitate the mixing in with this egg white, I chop it up like this and throw it into a pot here for my stand mixer. I could probably use a hand mixer for this, but I find it easier to use that stand mixer. So here we go, another one. And I'm making about 50 pieces of these petit fours, marzipan petit fours. And as you can see, I'm just chucking this marzipan up. What is that? An impurity. There's a little shell off with that. And all we need to do is to mix this egg white in to soften this marzipan so we can put it in this bag and press it out through this mount that I put into the bag. And then we can make these lovely shapes. You can see they're having small curves in them. I'm Danish speaking, so I'm not familiar with all English words. I'm searching for words in my brain to describe this. Rills that are looking good, and also you bake them in the oven and then they are browned along these edges, so they even taste better and also look better. So it's just to soften it that we put this egg white in it. But I think I will go down here to my stand mixer, and then I will mount. You need this one to mix it. Don't use a dough hook, that won't work. Or a whisk won't work either. And if you're doing it with a hand mixer, like this one, then what you need is to use these for making. That would also be the one you use for making meatballs and mixing that. But let's get this going. And I basically put some of the thing up here. And we're just doing it at low speed. And if I'm not having enough egg white here, then I'm just going to crack another egg. But I'm just putting in a little bit at a time. It doesn't look quite good to begin with, but it should blend completely in, and then it will look fine. You should never really see how this is done in the process. The sausage never look good until it's actually baked and done. Now it's starting to look nice, but I can see we need more. And I probably need to crack another egg here. It needs to be nice and soft, and it's not. So let me crack another egg. Let us see if we can do it without damaging the egg yolk. Not that it matters. I will stop it, and then I'll actually see. No, it's too hard, so we need to put more egg white in it. I need it to be in a soft, smooth consistency so we can get it through this bag and basically spray out these petit fours. And while this is mixing, I'll just show you here the baking paper that we will put them all on, and there'll be like 5 times 5, so it'll be 25 on one baking plate, and then I'll do another baking plate, and that'll be another 25, and then I think we have used pretty much all of it. Let's get back. Okay, now I stop it. Now it's done. It's basically done. I'll give it 1 more minute or 2 minutes just to be absolutely sure it's totally mixed. And then I'm going to make these petit fours. Okay, and while we are waiting for this stand mixer to finish, I can show you what I attempt to do with these egg yolks. I don't want to let them go to waste. What I have here is some cream, and I'm going to use that cream and these egg yolks to make ice cream. And then also I'm going to take the syrup from this Amarena glass. By the way, we could do that right away. So we're basically draining these cherries. But what you can see, you will have a lot of cherry syrup, and we can use that to make a fantastic ice cream based on these cherries and also the syrup from that, and then also these egg yolks that are in surplus now. Okay, let's see how this is doing. I think it's totally done. So let's take it off. I'm going to liberate this. This is a reason why you should make 750 gram and not 250 gram. There will be a little bit of spill from cleaning up your stuff, and you will lose some marzipan, and that waste of ingredients here will be less, of course, the more you make. It's pretty much the same whether you make a lot or just a little bit. Plus, there is work associated with it, and if you make more, doesn't mean it takes twice as long. Definitely doesn't. Anyway, we need to prepare this thing here. This is a reusable bag, but you can also buy some one-off bags. for this. I'm going to press this mold, or what we call it, in. And now I'm basically going to fill this up. It's a little tricky, and it's not that I'm doing this every day. Oops. I'm probably not as effective as I could be. It's a little bit thick. I worry about if I should have. I'll just have to use more power to squeeze it out. But this is very simple, as you can see, just marzipan and some egg white, and you can basically make it. Now I have other versions of this where I use ginger, add ginger, and also I have one where I use chopped. I have these lemons seized in vodka, and then I chop them up and add them to the marzipan, and then I'll make some other variants of this. And at Christmas I do that. I make all of my variants here. Today I'm just going to make one variant, and that will be this plain and simple. But I'm just going to see if this one is good. Let's see if we can start doing this. The first one is the hardest. Because it doesn't really, this baking paper here doesn't stick. I should probably use something that could hold it down. But you know, I'll manage. And also a good idea, don't make them too big. It's actually more delicious if they're just small with this cherry on top. And to my delight, it's perfect. The consistency here is perfect. It's easy for me to squeeze this out. And frankly, they look pretty good. I don't know how much you can see. Going closer. But I think they look pretty good. Also a little trick when you do this with this bag, you can try and kind of separate it into halves, and then you only press on the lower part. That makes it easier to squeeze it out. If you do it press over here, you have to apply much more pressure. And believe me, you have actually to use some muscles to get this out. But it can't be much easier to make this. And it costs a fortune if you buy it. If you go in here and buy that kind of petit four, the price here in Denmark for this kind of stuff is almost $150 per kilo. That's £2 for $150. Guarantee you I'm not paying that. And it's exactly the same ingredients I'm using here. So it's not that. It cost me like 1/10 of that amount, like $15 of ingredients. That's what I use here. And then I can make $150 of petit four. So that's one plate. Let's get some cherries on them. You can see they're pretty big. They're different sizes from year to year. Oh, so the harvest has apparently produced some big cherries this year. They're a little bigger than I normally see. Also, I would say that this brand here is a no-name brand. Normally I buy another brand that's more traditional, but currently they don't have a sale on them, and they are extremely pricey when there's not a sale on them. So I bought this one that is like the no-name brand, but I'll taste it just to be sure that they taste just as good. They're absolutely fantastic. It is like the taste of cherries just concentrated 10 times. It's wonderful, and it's perfect for these petit fours. I'm going to use nearly all of these cherries. And then I'm going to use probably my hazelnut for the rest. But they're going to be absolutely fantastic. It's a good present to get. About how long will they last? Well, I've kept them up to 2 weeks after I have made them, and they didn't go bad on me. But I would not go further than that. Just eat them when you have made them, because that's about making this home cooking stuff. You don't have all kind of things that can make it last forever. But well, I can give you one tip. I have seen these confiture here or petit four with cocktail berries on. That's also made from cherries, but they don't taste of anything but sugar, and they taste almost of death. There's no hint of cherry taste in them, and I just can't stand them. Cocktail berries are for people who don't like to cook with flavor. You need to have some flavor in this, or what's the point? So here they are. Let me see if my oven is good. I want it to be at around 200 degrees Celsius. And let's just ask my assistant what that is. Hvor meget er 200 grader Celsius i Fahrenheit? It's 392 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius. And that's what we'll bake them at. My fingers here are greasy with this cherry thing. I'm not sure my oven is quite that warm. Let me take a measurement. No, it's about 165 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit that's 330, but it's getting there. And we'll just give them longer time, and then they'll get. The important thing is to keep going and bake them in the oven until they're slightly caramelized and browned. Then they're done. Okay, we are back. Now I think they're done. So let's take them out. Maybe they are. Let's give them 2 more minutes. They're almost done. While we are waiting a little bit, maybe I should say, I've done one little thing I could have done better here. You always find out stuff you should have done. I should have perhaps dried these cherries out with a paper towel, because I can see that there are some syrups that are running into the marzipan, and that doesn't look as refined as it could be. So I recommend that you do that. Dry these cherries off with a paper towel so there are no syrup on them when you put them on your petit four here before you bake them. Then it will simply look better. It's not that they will taste any different, but I should have done that. Confectioneer would have told me to do that, I'm sure of that. But anyway, we try to do it better than the average kitchen at home. But I'm not a Michelin star chef here, or I'm not doing it for a living. I'm doing it for a hobby. So there will be some errors. Let's see if it's done now. Yeah, I think they're done. Oops. And now I will take a look at it and film it here. Just needs to cool now, because it's very hot. And here you can see that it floated out this syrup, which is not good. This one is much more pretty because it has little syrup on it. This one also nice and pretty. I'll take those that have the most floating out, and I'll eat them myself. Then I'll give the rest that are looking more pretty as presents. Here we go, and film it while it's in the oven. I don't know how interesting that is, but it will be baked. Okay, now I've cleaned my kitchen up a little bit, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more. So we can see here I have it's cooled down, so you can touch it. There's still somebody in the oven while we are speaking here, and I still need to do a third plate, or what we call it. I've sorted them so the pretty ones are up here and the not so pretty ones are down here where the syrup floated out. And of course I'll use this for presents, and that one I'm going to eat myself. I'm going to show you this paper box here. Where did I get that? I just go to a bakery and ask for a couple of these boxes. And then I'm going to use some baking paper, cut up some baking paper to floor it. And then I'm going to put these down here. And then of course this one goes on top. This will be the lid, and then it goes on top. And then that will be a present. Fortunately, I have 4. That's what I need for 2 presents here that I'll use tomorrow. So I just wanted to show you how that is done. Okay, now I think the second plate here is ready. Yes, it definitely is. Oops, it's perhaps even a little bit too much. Where should I put it? I should just put it here. And then the third one comes in. Just goes in here. Okay, perhaps that's a little bit overburned, but over here apparently it's just fine. I'm a little nervous about that one, but I shouldn't touch it. That's too hot. I'm pretty sure it's too hot. I'm going to touch it anyway. Is it burned below? Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit too much. It needs to look like this. Like this. That's good. This is a little bit too much. Okay, but that's what happens. It can't be totally perfect unless you have a perfect oven or something. I don't know exactly why it is more heat here than over here. Okay, now I just finished making the third plate with my confiture here, or petit four, whatever we call it in English. And that kind of concludes my video. Let's take a look at it. This plate here, it's done, and with a hazelnut, and these here, I'm just checking the bottom if they're burned or anything, but I think they're good. And also over here, that one is still fresh from the oven, so it's hot still, but yeah, I can touch it. And it's not burnt at all. That one over there was burnt a little bit. And here we have the last one, all with amaretto cherries. That is the best of my creation here. And I hope that you like my video, and also I hope that you will do these petit fours yourself, as I said elsewhere in my video. A kilo of this will set you off $150 at a confectioner or at a pastry chef, but you can do this for about $20 in maybe $25 depending on how expensive your marzipan is, and how much you pay for these, and whether there's a sale or not. But up to Christmas, normally there are sales on both marzipan and then these amarena cherries. So, but that's it for this time. I wish you a happy and fulfilling life in freedom and democracy. Goodbye.